dozen of their staff devoted to analytics.
The three from Bryant. Can't get it to go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
And they played outstanding team defense in that win, Clark. Nobody got stuck on an island. Everybody was helping. Great rotations. It really looked like they were together in that game.
Yeah, and even when they were rotating different players in and out, Steve, I thought their communication was five-star and the teamwork was very strong.
And for the Hornets, that's huge, having a bit of a numerical guide as to who to target in free agency, because they aren't usually a big player in that respect.
Right side, Bryant. Offline with the baseline jumper.
He has just disappeared this quarter, not making a mark at all offensively.
And I'm sure he's ready to put this quarter behind him and quickly.
And that one's on target from the wing.
And we know the Hornets definitely aren't as big a player in most free agent markets. That's pretty clear, small market team. They're usually at the bottom of the league in payroll. But they are making the most of what they spend now with their analysis, so trying to level the playing field a little bit.
Out to the right wing. Pulls up. San Antonio again missing. Stevenson kicks to Zeller. Bryant in the post, covered by Mills. The shot's good from Bryant. Bryant showing him he really belongs. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. They need this one, and that one's good. And the Spurs lead by 2.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And that's going to open things up for them on the perimeter going forward, Clark.
Stevenson drives in. Can't hit. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Last time they met was in Charlotte, where they beat the Hornets.
Remember, that last matchup went right down to the wire before they pulled it out, and I thought the big difference was the contribution this team got from its bench.
The Spurs shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
And as a club, they're kind of in the middle of the pack in the NBA in terms of their free throw shooting, about 76%.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. That's good. And it's 8 points for Little General.
Boy, has there been any defense played yet in this game?
Nope, this game has been all about rapid-fire offense early.
The dish to Joseph. The pass to Mills. The feed to Joseph. And Mills atop the key. Here's Diaw. Buried from 15 feet out. And that does it for the first quarter. Spurs out in front, up by 4. And we'll get things started in the second.
Coming up next Monday night, February 2nd.
And now the second quarter. San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Some changes for Charlotte. And Charlotte looking at who they've got. Bryant, he's in at shooting guard. Henderson out there with Bismack Biyombo. Then there's Al Jefferson. And it's Williams at the point. Parker double teamed. Leonard dishes to Parker. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Just 5 on the clock. Bonner's shot good. Bonner's got his second bucket.
Well, Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, so smart, a former foreign intelligence officer during the Cold War. If he's a little tight-lipped with the media, maybe that's the reason why.
Bryant with a screen for Williams. Dishes to Bryant. Floats one up. The shot no good. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Popovich back in the 70s toured Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union with the U.S. Armed Forces team. He speaks Serbian and Russian.
Yeah, you know, no surprise that, Kevin, given his experience abroad, that he helped make the Spurs real trendsetters as far as international scouting.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. From the wing, and the jumper is on the mark. Bryant's got 10. Spurs leading by 3. Parker up top. He's guarded by Williams. Here is Bonner. 6 points for him. Now here's Parker. And Jefferson sends it back. Williams passes to Bryant. Pulls up from the corner. That doesn't go either for Bryant. Spurs have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Parker with it. Picked up by Bryant. Nobody near Leonard. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And it's 13 points for Kawhi Leonard. Hornets trail by 6. Williams kicks to Bryant. Left side, Bryant. Second shot opportunity. Biombo, no luck.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. As you know, Cody Zeller was the 4th overall pick in 2013. And Coach Clifford has said he has a lot of physical ability. His basketball IQ is through the roof. He has great intangibles, and he's young. I don't want to limit him in any way, but I want him to progress at his own rate. For us to be good, he's got to be a really big part of it. Kevin, back to you.
An intriguing young talent. Thanks. And here is Parker. 11 points in the game. Diaw, the screen. Parker dishes to Diaw. 1:07 left now here in the second. Diaw, the screen. It's Parker with the drop.
Tony could well be the best point guard penetrator in the game. I mean, he's great at finding the seam and getting the ball up and off glass before the shot blocker can recover. And once the ball hits the glass and comes off, it's a no-touch zone for the defender.
And Parker with the quickness to win that race to the rim, and then his great touch, able to use English or just the spin on the ball to drop it in. Even when the defense gets there early, it seems like Parker's able to use that teardrop. Well, if you're going to set a screen like that, you've got to make sure your feet are set.
I agree with you, and I thought maybe he was set that time, Steve. I thought it was a good screen on his part.
To the middle. Feeds to Leonard. He dishes it to Mills. Parker passes to Bonner. With the floater. That's Biombo with the rebound. And for Parker now coming into his 30s, the question, how will his game, so based on speed, Clark, and elusiveness, how will it age?
Well, I think that's a fair question. His game is not as much athleticism as it is those attributes of speed and quickness and elusiveness. I think the elusiveness can hang around for a while. The speed will go. But the fact he's improved as a jump shooter, I think will continue to allow him to be pretty good at getting to the rim.
Diaw, the screen. Parker kicks to Diaw. Pass to Leonard. 13 feet away. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Spurs lead by 7.
Okay, guys, let's talk about that first half. We've given this crowd way too much to cheer about. The second half is going to be played on our terms. You got me? To begin with, we had a lot of success on the offensive glass and plenty of second chance points to show for it. Keep the edge after halftime. Keep outworking them. I'll say this for us, though. Our shot selection has been terrific. We haven't forced things, and the shots are dropping for us because of that patience. Now let's chip away at this lead by feeding the ball into the post early and often in the third quarter. Let's get high percentage looks in tight. It might not feel like it, but we're in an okay position. A lot of teams would have been out of this game by now, but we're still in it. Let's get after it and see what happens.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway.
What a game for Tony Parker. 13 points, and he's chalked up one three-pointer on the day as well.
Yeah, a lot of times he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
Spurs with some changes. Boris Diaw's checked in for Splitter. Mills comes in for Daniel Green. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Tony Parker. And then for Charlotte, Biyombo is checked in for Jefferson. Lance Stevenson comes in for Kid Gilchrist. And it's Bryant in for Gerald Henderson. Diaw and Duncan at the 4 and the 5. Corey Joseph is out there with Mills, and it's Leonard in at the 3 slot. That's the San Antonio 5.
And we head to the final buzzer in a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. This will go in the books as a really gaudy win for the Spurs.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And so checking out the record for these guys tonight will mark win number 37 for them on the year.
This win will give them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief 2-gamer.
Yeah, Steve, it'll mean a lot to them just the same, though. Anytime you go undefeated against an opponent, that's a sweet feeling.
Frustration foul there. You've got to maintain your composure.
Yeah, he lost his cool there, Steve. I mean, you can understand it, but you can't excuse it.
Patty Mills last season had his best season ever. Really remade his body in the offseason, adding muscle, cutting down on his body fat. Already one of the quickest players in the league. He got even quicker.
The Spurs making a switch here. Baines is checked in. And Mills getting quality minutes at the backup point guard position.
Yeah, and for a player who'd spent time in the D-League playing in China and his native Australia, it seems he's really solidified his place as an NBA player, Kevin, in part because he refocused on conditioning his body and really developed as an outside shooter, too.
That's good from Joseph on the assist by Mills.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they?
Stevenson kicks to Bryant. Left side, Bryant. Misses off the left iron.
You're not doing your team any good forcing a shot like that one.
You know, I agree. He's got to know better than that.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games.
The bad news is you played like a 50-year-old record league bum, and we lost the game. You're supposed to ask what the good news is.
What's the good news?
The good news is I don't think it's possible for you to play any worse.
Is this supposed to be making me feel better?
Nah, man. It's supposed to make you understand this ain't just you. We all got a lot of work to do if we're gonna do something special this year. So put this one behind you, learn from it, and move on, all right?
Yeah, all right. But a 50-year-old bum, though?
If the shoe fits.
Come on, man.